Trump's lawyers, for their part, have a pretty simplistic two-pronged defense. You can't impeach a former president, and Trump was allowed to say anything he wanted in Washington because he was simply exercising his free speech. I'm Tim O'Brien, a senior columnist with Bloomberg Opinion, and this is Lost in Translation. One of the curious things about this impeachment trial is that it's already a foregone conclusion that Trump is going to get acquitted. So what do you do when you have a trial in which the person on the stand, the former president of the United States, is likely to get off? The problem that Trump's lawyers have coming into this case is that there's already a damning fact pattern surrounding his own actions. He had spent months claiming the 2020 election was rigged. He had spent weeks telling people to come to Washington for the January 6th event. It really raises the question of how Republicans then go back to the American public, go back to historians, and go back to their own voters and explain in a rational and honorable way why they chose to acquit Trump. It's not hard to find examples of how deeply divisive this trial is and Trump's own record and presence is for the Republican Party. On one hand, you've got Liz Cheney, a Wyoming Republican who's in the House, saying,
"The oath that I took to the Constitution compelled me to vote for impeachment, and it doesn't bend to partisanship. It doesn't bend to political pressure. It's the most important oath that we take."
And then if you walk over to the Senate, you've got Lindsey Graham, a Republican from South Carolina, saying,
"One of the reasons we need to make sure this thing never goes anywhere is because I don't want to legitimize the impeachment process used in the House. I think it's a danger to democracy and the presidency itself."
The GOP is in the midst of a very severe identity crisis. And Donald Trump has carved this very deep fissure between the traditional establishment wing of the party and this new, robust, and insurgent populist wing that is anti-institutional and looks at even the establishment wing of the Republican Party as suspect. Donald Trump is the Energizer Bunny of the American cultural, political, and business landscape. So, of course, we're going to hear from him and see him again. He's a media addict. There's no way he's going to willingly disappear entirely from the spotlight. You'll see him do rallies. You may see him start a media company, but I also think there's going to be people in the Republican Party that really want to keep him locked up if they can, politically, if not legally.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quicktake now for insight in an instant.